The newly recruited constables into the Nigeria police force have cried out over the non-payment of their 6 months' salaries. The new constables who passed out of police colleges in April told Daily Post exclusively that they are yet to be paid salary since they joined the force. Some of the policemen, while speaking with our correspondent, said they have been reporting at their respective duty posts without pay since April. Pleading anonymity, the police recruit said they expected to be paid in October after going to the force headquarters in Abuja for IPPS documentation in September. They lamented that other police officers were paid on Monday, but they were ignored. Says, "We are hungry. We have been working since April without any salary. Our commanders won't stop posting us out for duties, despite the fact that we are not paid. Many of us still depend on our parents and relatives to feed ourselves. It's been very tough. Many of us have borrowed money from people while also owing food vendors around our areas. Most times we wait by the roadside to get free ride when we don't have money for our transport fare. This is not how officers of the law should be treated. Don't forget that one of us was killed by armed robbers in Kogi on June 4th. That is the risk in this job. Yet our welfare is not important to the authorities. How can anybody work for 6 months without being paid? If this had happened in the civil service, you would have seen them on the street with placards. But we are voiceless. We dare not talk about it outside. We should be suffering and smiling. It doesn't happen like that in other agencies." Some of the policemen told Daily Post in an exclusive interview. The police constables appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari and the Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu to come to their rescue and save them from being dependent on others for their daily bread. Meanwhile, effort to get reactions of the force public relations officer Frank Mba was not successful. Mba did not answer phone calls made to his line throughout Saturday, November 7th. Also, a text message sent to him is yet to be replied since yesterday. But a senior police officer confirmed to our correspondent that new constables are being subjected to all forms of financial embarrassment as a result of the non-payment of their wages. The police officer said he was in support of the calls by the NSAS protesters to reform the Nigerian police force. He expressed displeasure that the protest was hijacked by hoodlums, saying the fight was also for the freedom of the ranks and files in the job. Saying these young cops were not paid since 6 months ago. Is that normal? We are suffering in this job, but we can't speak up. Look at our barracks and compare that to what obtains elsewhere. That is why I'm so pained that the end SARS protest was hijacked by hoodlums. Those guys were also fighting for our freedom too, especially the rank and files. The reform they are calling for will address all these anomalies in the force, the police inspector said anonymously. Okay. You can imagine a time, I think early this year, they were saying, oh yes, okay, it was the police, the IGP. Oh, they were going to recruit 10,000 policemen. They are going to do this, they are going to do that. Oh, now watch you. They recruited some of the people they recruited. At the end of the day, to pay them is another thing. It's wahala. To pay them, you see what is happening now. Can you see what is happening? And unfortunately, and I think maybe that is one of the things they've signed. Once you join the work, you are not allowed to do that, and that is why they always say obey before command, abi obey before whatever, before complain. Also, that is how it's being done, because a lot of people are always saying, why is it that you guys will continue to do this and you don't talk, you don't voice out? Even in army, I think that one's even worse. You can't even complain. You dare not complain. If you don't want them to complain, you do the right thing, because if it is stipulated there that you are not supposed to be relating what is happening in the force to the public or to the civilians, then you do the needful, because that means what would warrant them to start speaking in the public when you have already done the needful. Once you have done, you have taken care of them. They have no reason, they have no choice. They just have to keep to the rules. But you are defaulting. But I don't know whether it is in their constitution that even if you are not being paid, you don't have to talk. It is Nigeria, that they don't do all of those things. They don't take care of the welfare of these people, and you don't want them to talk, and that is blackmail, because they know that they are not going to talk, and you are not using that against them. Of course, they are not supposed to relate what is happening, because it's a delicate and very, very important job, that you don't have to be saying everything out or anything in public. It's understandable, but a situation whereby you are not taking care of them, you still don't want them to talk. That is the fraud we are talking in this country. The fraud is there. They don't want you to contest, to protest. They don't want you to say anything. They don't want you to criticize the government. They just want to be telling you, be dishing you out what they feel they will be telling you, promising you heaven and earth without fulfilling those promises, and you have to be quiet. You see what we are talking about? But again, so they are talking about this answers, this and that. Hoodlum hijack them. Why would hoodlum hijack the processes? Why are hoodlums in the country? Because now that is the narrative the government is trying to paint. Oh, hoodlums will hijack this. So, I don't know. People ask questions. Let us ask questions. Who are the hoodlums that the police, the security people cannot take care of them? How come we so much have hoodlums in this country? How come they are so powerful that we are going to be using that as an excuse that people should not voice out their opinion, which is another fraud in its own? It's another fraud. They are just using that so that people will not talk. They will not have a lot of people, even the so-called elites, the so-called people who you think that they should know better. Everybody is falling for that. Why can't we ask questions? Why are hoodlums everywhere? Why are they so powerful that the government cannot take care of them? And because of that, those who are genuine, the genuine protesters, you are using that as an excuse so that those one will not expose your atrocities. That is exactly what is happening. They were shouting that time. Police wanted to recruit. They wanted to recruit. It's just for them. That is why, just for them to have it to score whatever they want to score. But at the end of the day, you are not paying them. So what is that the essence? Is it not better for them not to have been paid? And that is why you see that private companies, that is why some of them, they have the audacity not to pay salaries. Of course, if government is owing salary, then what do you expect private sectors to do? Nobody, they will continue to do that. A lot of people are working in private sectors. They are not being paid. You can work 5 months, 6 months, because you will not want to go, because they will know that they will tell you there's no job outside. Even government is owing. So what are you going to do? You will be compared, because if you think that you want to leave, you will not be thinking, if I leave, they might not pay me. If you leave, that is the end. They will not even pay you. So maybe at times they'll just try to give you 1 month. In between, they will just give you 1 month. But again, they will owe you like 4, 5 months again, because you now think, oh, they're still going to pay me. You will not be hoping. And that's why you see that a lot of people are dipping their hands in where they are not supposed to dip their hands. To be sincere and honest, you think all these police constables that are complaining, they've not started taking bribes? I beg you. It is tiring. This country matter is the tired person. Well, I laugh una. So all these things, they happen, una see join hand with the government. They fight masses instead of everyone to join hands to fight this government that are putting everyone into this inhuman situation. But reverse was the case. God help everyone. Bad government using people and not give them what is due of them. The politics brought the hoodlum into the protest so that they can use it as an excuse to fortify their evil grip on the poor masses. There's a big problem concerning their recruitment. It's between the Police Service Commission and the Inspector General of Police. The PSC is saying the recruitment is illegal and that the IGP has not power to recruit men into the force, while the IGP is equally laying claim to the power to do so. The case is already in law court. You see a lawless country. So people do not know what they are supposed to do. And see what is been causing. But even let's leave that. The ones that have been paid, according to what they said, that they pay some people and they ignore them. What are they paying them? What are they paying them? It is not true. Police have paid every policeman in Nigeria. Okay. Okay, someone say now hunger go kill now. Where they protect for good payments. Okay, this one is saying now lie they lie. No, I think you are the one who is a fool saying that police has paid them. Now hunger go kill now. We dey protest for your good payments, but you people paid us with bullets and blood. May you never receive good salary. You should not be crying now. The youth are fighting for you. Police for peaceful protest. The same was used to destabilize the peaceful protest. Why not? Even your not being on the road denies you end of your tithe. I request you to get back to the road because Roger is bigger than salary. Okay, you guys aren't be paid for 6 months but have the guts to shoot at unarmed protesters. You guys will never get paid in the next 1 year. Nonsense. Hungry go see kill all of una. Shebi una dey shoot #EndSARS protesters. We dey fight for una animal police in the zoo. You can't just imagine how you can just imagine how can a responsible government not pay our police. Abeg, second base job. Let's have your take in the comment section. This is really tiring, honestly.